Yes, hi guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with me. It's Miss Carter. Kindly, if you're new, subscribe, hit the notification button, share this video, and let's get the conversation going. Yes, I was going through my emails and one really caught my attention. Someone was asking for, they really made the decision. They were just, trying to get someone else's, view of the whole thing. It's about moving in with a guy, the Kamuste kind of. Actually, it's a guy who wanted to move in with the lady. What really is Kamuste? This is whereby two people cohabitate, not legally married, but cohabitating. And most of the time, it's a man and a woman. So yes, it's not really something as easy as going to the grocery store or to get the trash out. This is someone literally moving their whole life into someone else's life. You see, there's a lot that you just have to think about because number one, usual cases where two people are cohabitating, it's whereby one person is not really able to cater for their day-to-day needs, so they feel like they need that extra boost, and that's where the cohabitating comes in. Secondly, it could be the cause of two people who want to get married probably in the future, and they want to just stay together and see how things flow before they get to a place or formalizing the whole thing. You see, and many other reasons. Yes, but those are the most common reasons why guys cohabitate. So number one, counterstay is not really it is not proof of marriage. You can be staying with someone for. There was a law before that stated that you could stay with someone for 6 months and you guys are considered married, but right now that is not the case. You see, so when you're cohabitating with someone, think about the reasons. Why am I moving in with this person? Why is this person moving in with me? Is it because of that financial boost that they need? Is it because they feel like they want to save up on a little and so they want someone else to come and pull their weight from one side as they pull their weight from the other side? What really is the cause for this? Okay, so let's talk about the advantages of the coming stay. Number one, you can leave anytime you want. Well, if you are not legally married to this person, if it's just informal kind of cohabitating, you can leave when you feel like things are not really working out for you. Or as I've said before, if it was about convenience and you get to a place where you're able to handle your own, you can leave anytime. No package, no nothing, no explanation. You just heads up and leave. That's the number one. Okay. And number two, I had a conversation with someone and they told me that the best thing that ever happened to them when they started staying with someone was the rent thing. But this was a lady. You see, she doesn't get to go about, it's almost end month, I don't really have the money. Oh, my salary is this, and then half of it is going to the rent. You get to scrap that off because someone else is handling that. So yes, if you're not the one who's paying rent, that is an advantage. Let's talk about the disadvantages also. Number one, you're not really under your own freedom anymore. Whether you're the one who moved in or someone moved in into your crib, there's a lot of freedom that is cropped out. You see, there's a lot that you can't do. Preferences, maybe, for instance, let's say I love drinking. This one doesn't. I can't just have drinks, all over the place because it would make this other person, feel uncomfortable in that space. You see, so you really have to just meet the other person halfway. Most of the time, one person is the one who goes to meet the other. It's not really a 50-50 because the one who pays most of the bills, utilities and all that has the highest say. The disadvantages, you don't have that much freedom. You see? Another disadvantage, as I said the first time, you can move out at any time. But then things do happen. You guys got comfortable. Kids were involved. What do? You see? When you came in, it was just you and this other person. And now there's a little human being who needs the both of you. They've grown up knowing there's two of you. And then you guys don't think you want to stay together anymore. What do? Dismantling that whole house and then affecting the kid. You see, that's not really a good place to put the kid and also yourself. So yes, there's disadvantages and advantages depending on your reasons. And just to bust your bubble, come step it seems like the easy way out. You don't have to go through a lot of paperwork and involving people to just officiate Kidoko your relationship. But as I was going through my socials, I saw something. Before, there used to be that notion of if you stay with someone for more than 6 months, you guys are considered married. But right now, that's not a thing. You can stay with someone for 10 good years, 10 counting, 1, 2, 3, 10, and still not be considered married. You see, so as I'm saying, when you're going into this, you just have to think about it very well. You're staying with someone for 10 good years, you've invested your time, you've invested a lot of emotion, and then you guys get to a place where you feel, I don't want to do this anymore, I cannot do this anymore. And then you just have to leave with nothing. You can even go to the court and tell them, Aki, we were married. I swear we were married. I promise you on God, we were married and all those stuff. You can't, because right now they require a lot of proof. You see, if yes, you've been staying with this person for more than 10 years, what do you have to show for it? You get to have a house. Is your name there? You get to say you have a car. Is your name anywhere there? The assets. Is your name anywhere there? No. Do you guys even have a bank account, a joint bank account? These are the documents that these people will require you to show to at least prove that you guys had something. Not a marriage, but something for those 10 good years. You see, and then just to add weight on that, it is not about 50-50 anymore. Like when you split up, I'm going to get 50% of the wealth. If our house accumulates to 130,000, I'm going to get half of that. That is not the case anymore. You have to prove that you've been pulling weight in the house. You see, in that union, what have you been doing? Have you been working all day, or have you been sitting and waiting for someone to provide these needs to you? What have you brought? Has it been from one person pulling the weight and providing, paying for utilities and all those things? Or have you been assisting, adding? It is all about that right now. So if you're sitting there looking pretty, thinking that after 10 years or after 5 years, you're going to get 50-50 as this person, it's just a lot that is taken into consideration right now before these decisions are made. Because there's a lot of stories that we hear out there from, insurance, life insurance. Something just happens after guys have been married and then someone is getting all the money and all that. There's just a lot of things that are happening right now. So there are measures that have been put to make sure that someone is not going to just sweating for nothing. Someone is not going to be working and at the end of the day, go home with nothing. It has to be, there's just a system right now. So in that marriage, don't just sit there and do nothing and wait for someone to provide. Pull some weight, do something, get a job. Even if it's not a big job, just do a small business that shows that you've been, adding some value to that marriage. At least don't go paying the house rent or don't go paying school fees. Buy some food. We have electricity, we have water. Sort such things. You see, mawafua and, such kind of stuff, the gardener, paying for such things. At least when it gets to a place where you guys have to part ways, you have something to show. And then remember, it is not word of mouth. It is not, I paid electricity yesterday. I paid for the water bill last week. I even got food for the whole month, 3 months ago. It is not about the words. It has to be documented. Where are the receipts? You see, what is there to show that you've actually been doing something? So it's not that easy. That's why the whole thing about getting into a kamuste, just if you really want to stay with that person, go through the right channel. Take this person home. You don't have to go through, all these weddings and 500,000 kind of bills and to just be officiated with this person. Take them home. Do the traditional marriages. Go civil if you have to. Go to the AG. Get a certification, say your vows, have a witness there, and that's it. In case of anything. A lot of things are happening right now. In case of anything, you will be on the safe side. And then just to add on this, where kids are involved, you just can go, making simple and silly choices. You really have to think them through, because when you're involving another small human who cannot even depend on themselves, and you even as the grown-up, you don't even depend on yourself, how are you going to be able to cater for these people if the sole provider is not there anymore? If the relationship and the marriage is not there anymore? If the mansion is no longer yours, what are you going to do? Okay? So before you get into that calm mistake, think about it. Make sure you've put the right measures to make sure that you are protected in case things go south. If you're in that marriage and you're not the sole provider, just pull some weight. Look for something small to be doing in the house, at least so that in case things go south, you have something to say. Always document. Have them on your computer. Just save them. Because, you might need them on a rainy day. So on that note, let's stay safe. Let us make right and sober decisions. Because these decisions that we make right now are going to affect us in years to come. Before, there used to be a law that was there about allegedly about if you stay with a man for more than 6 months, you guys are married. You see? And recently, it's no longer there. You can stay with a man for 10 years, but to the eyes of the law, you guys are not married unless you provide, proof like joint bank account, a house lease or agreement that has both your names, a car, something that can show that you guys have been doing a lot together. So without that, if you're in that house thinking that you're married to this man or you're married to this woman, I think this is high time for you to actually follow, the right. Okay, it's not really the right way of doing things, but how society has deemed fit. You see, there's the traditional marriages, then there's the church marriages. At least fix yourself with one of those. You can just do the civil one. You can go to, the AG and get the certificate. Actually, that is very, very important. Very, very important. At least when you have a document, a certification that shows that you and your partner are in that union together. In case of something or anything, you won't be crying alone. At least the law will back you up to the goal. And then actually even on that, before it was more, okay, it was common for married couples when you split that you're getting the, 50-50 and all that. Right now you have to back up your, I don't want to say importance, but because I can't really get the right words to use, but you just have to prove your worth. What is it that you were bringing into that relationship or that union? What were you giving? What were you bringing to the table? What kind of assets have you acquired when you're in that union? You get. Those are the things that are going to, help you get something out of that union. So you can be married for 10 years. You guys have all the money in the world. You have houses, you have cars, you have so many things. But when you guys get divorced, you get nothing. Why are you getting nothing? Because you do not contribute. So, the getting of that well. You see? So if you're married, don't just stop at that. Let your weight be filled. Continue giving into that marriage. If it is assets, make sure that you're also part of the plan to get all these things. When there's houses being bought, make sure that your name is also on the lease or on the agreement. When you're buying a car, let both of your names be there. Because once things go south and you no longer want to be in that relationship, now imagine having to prove that you are married to this person and then having to also prove that you are giving to the marriage. It's a tough one, right? Yes, let's make good and sober decisions. And thank you for joining me. See you next time.